Hello, fifth graders. I have your installments of The Tale of Desperaux ready for you. I brought the book home. Our current chapter is chapter 19, Light, Light Everywhere. Imagine, if you will, having spent the whole of your life in a dungeon. Imagine that late one spring day you step out of the dark and into the world of bright windows, polished floors, winking copper pots, shining soups of armor, and tapestries sewn in gold. Imagine. And while you're imagining things, imagine this too. Imagine at the same time the rat steps from the dungeon and into the castle. A mouse is being born upstairs. A mouse, reader, who is destined to meet the light bedazzled rat. But that meeting will occur much later, and for now, the rat is nothing but happy, delighted, amazed to find himself standing in so much light. "Aye," said Roscuro, spinning dizzily from one bright thing to the next. "I will never leave. No, never. I will never go back to the dungeon. Why would I? I will never torture another prisoner. It is here that I belong." The rat waltzed happily from room to room until he found himself at the door to the banquet hall. He looked inside and saw gathered there King Philip, Queen Rosemary, the Princess P, 20 noble people, a juggler, 4 minstrels, and all the king's men. This party, reader, was a sight for the rat's eyes. Roscuro had never seen happy people. He'd only known the miserable ones. Gregory the jailer and those who were consigned to his domain did not laugh or smile or clink glasses with the person next to them. Roscuro was enchanted. Everything glittered. Everything. The gold spoons on the table and the jingle bells on the juggler's cap, the strings of the minstrel's guitar and the crowns on the king's and queen's head. And the little princess, how lovely she was, how much light it's like light itself. Her gown was covered in sequins that winked and glimmered at the rat, and when she laughed often. Everything around her seemed to glow brighter. "Oh, really," said Roscuro, "this is extraordinary. This is too wonderful. I must tell Botticelli that he was wrong. Suffering is not the answer. Light is the answer." And he made his way into the banquet hall. He lifted his tail off the ground and held it at an angle and marched in time to the music the minstrels were playing on their guitars. The rat, reader, invited himself to the party. Chapter 20. The View from the Chandelier. There was in the banquet hall a most beautiful and ornate chandelier. The crystals that hung from it caught the light of the candles on the table and the light from the faces of the laughing princess. They danced to the rhythm of the minstrel's music, swaying back and forth, tinkling and beckoning. What better place to view all this glory, all this beauty? There was so much laughing and singing and juggling that no one noticed, as Roscuro crawled up the table leg and onto the table, and from there flung himself onto the lowest branch of the chandelier. Hanging by one paw, he swung back and forth, admiring the spectacle below him. The smells of the food, the sound of the music, the light, the light, the light! Amazing! Unbelievable! Roscuro smiled and shook his head. Unfortunately, a rat can only hang from a chandelier for only so long before he's discovered. And this would be true at even the loudest party. Reader, do you know who it was that spotted him? You're right, the sharp-eyed Princess P. "A rat!" she shouted. "A rat's hanging from the chandelier!" The party, as I have noted, was loud. The minstrels were strumming and singing. People were laughing and eating. The man with the jingle cap was juggling and jingling. No one in the midst of this merriment heard the P. No one except for Roscuro. Rat. He'd never been aware of what an ugly word it was. Rat. In the middle of all that beauty, it immediately became clear that it was an extremely distasteful syllable. Rat. A curse, an insult, a word totally without light. And not until he heard it from the mouth of the princess did Roscuro realize that he did not like being a rat. He did want to be a rat. This revelation hit Roscuro with such force it made him lose his grip on the chandelier. The rat, reader, fell. And alas, he fell right, directly, into the queen's bowl of soup. And here is a picture of Roscuro hanging from the chandelier. That's all for now. Bye.